Welcome back. Today's video will be a short one. I built a lamp. I didn't really need a lamp, and the materials that I used to build this lamp probably cost more altogether than it would have cost just to buy a lamp at any number of stores, except these are all materials that I had laying around. And I saw a suggested video on YouTube saying, here's how to build one of those lamps with the little black iron pipe. And I thought, I have some pieces of that, maybe I'll try one. Here's a photo of all the materials that I used. I should back up. I didn't have all these materials on hand. The little socket that's up at the top of the photo I didn't have on hand, and the electrical cord, I had to go buy those separately, but I believe that altogether they were less than $10, and everything else I had on hand. And the only tools that I used were a screwdriver and this wire stripper. This is an old one. It's a cheap one. It's not the best one, but it worked. It did the job. Now here is some footage of the piece of plywood that I used as the base. I have already measured and drilled the 4 holes that will match up with this flange for the black iron pipe to screw onto. The plywood itself was actually a little bit of pieces that I had left over. It's 2 pieces glued together, but I didn't have enough left from my last giant sheet of plywood to make 2 squares of this size, so you can see that I had to glue on a separate little corner here. But after I sanded it down and I put on some clear coat polyurethane, it came out looking pretty decent and shiny. Oh, and another thing I had on hand that's not in these photos is the little foam pads that I stuck on the bottom. But all these little pieces of iron pipe were left over from previous projects. If I were to buy them all today, every one of these pieces costs a couple of dollars for the little threaded parts, and then for those big connectors, they can cost as much as $8 or $9 a piece. So adding all this together would, just that metal part would be $30 or $40. But the cord itself was, if I remember right, $5 or $6, and the little socket was $3 or $4. This little switch I had laying around, I don't remember when I bought it, but I had it in a little drawer in the garage. Oh, there's the socket. It just comes with these 2 wires with 2 pieces of the sheathing pre-cut to be able to be pulled off easily, and it fits a standard light bulb. And this one that I found at Home Depot or Lowe's, I forget which one, it's just the perfect size to fit into this adapter here. Adapter's not the right word, but anyway, the wires just slide in there, and this just kind of presses down in there, and it just fits perfectly. If you're not sure which size to get at the store, you can just hold the piece of metal and you can get the socket off the shelf. It doesn't come with a wrapper or anything. It just comes just like that, and you can stick it in there to make sure it's the right size. I'm going to have to unscrew all those pipes to thread the wire through there. But I have these 2 little crimping connectors that are going to connect the wires from the socket to the wire of the outlet, or the plug that's going to plug into the outlet. And I didn't actually film me putting all this together, but here's the footage of the finished product. I set it up, I planned it in such a way that after I screwed that onto the wood, there would be a little hole left out of this T-connector for the wire to exit. So whichever way you orient the lamp, and I didn't tighten any of the pieces of pipe too tight where I couldn't reorient it. But anyway, the switch inserts pretty easily onto this wire, and it clicks, and the light comes on. I'm going to show you right here, turning on the light. There. It works. And the base with the double plywood is heavy enough that it's going to, hold itself down. It's just a cute little lamp, and the pipes are pretty tight, but I can move them around if I wanted to adjust the positioning of this lamp. And as you can see, it's just as bright as the other lamp that I have sitting beside it. So anyway, I told you it'd be short. It was fun, and I didn't really need a lamp, but now I have a lamp, and I can put whatever standard bulb I want to in there and set it anywhere that a little 8-inch by 8-inch square piece of plywood will sit that's near an outlet. If you had considered doing something like this, it was incredibly easy. I don't have a ton of electrical experience and wiring and things like that, but there are some how-to videos on YouTube. This isn't a how-to video. This is just showing that I did it with almost zero skill. And yes, the first time I turned it on, I did wait, and I touched with the back of my hand the pieces of metal and make sure that none of the electricity was arcing or sparking or anything like that. And it works. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.